Welcome to Old Classic Car, and here a collection of adverts for motoring in the 1970s. And to begin with, the XJ6 Series 1 of 1972. Many revisions apparently. How on earth did Jaguar do it for the price? Ask the Shrewsbury Chronicle in 1970. Next up, another classic car here from Britain, the Rover 3500S. Obviously the P6, the 3500S was the manual version. Most of the V8s were automatic, I believe. Next up, the first of several Alfa Romeo adverts to feature in this particular collection. We've got the four-door Alfetta here. Imagine for a minute a sports saloon which will cocoon you and your family in the lap of luxury, and which will whisk you down the autostradas at speeds of up to 111.4 miles per hour. Next up, a young lady in baseball cap and shades advertising Mintex, the complete range, brake shoes, disc brake pads and fan belts. Carrying on with this collection of early to mid 1970s car and car accessory adverts, we've got the Reliant Regal. Is this or is this not the real budget car? Let's have a look what they say. 60 plus miles per gallon, 70 plus miles per hour. For a 700cc car, the Reliant three-wheeler is surprisingly spacious. Plenty of room for 4 people and a large boot, yet total weight is under 800 weight. Next up, Duckham's Q2050 motor oil. The motor racing scene here. At the circuit in the paddock, what oils are being used by the enthusiast? Duckham's Q2050, the same oil that you buy from your local retailer. On track or motorway, stressed to the limit and sometimes beyond, you can depend on Duckham's. Here we have Porsche's new Porsche at 924. All you'd expect of a Porsche except the price. Next up we have Castrol GTX, the high performer. Paddy Hopkirk tells how Castrol copes with cold starting. There's the man himself in his sheepskin coat, telling us all the many merits of Castrol GTX. Here we go, Formula steering wheels now. The best fit formula as standard. You'll find Formula Plus steering wheels as standard equipment on many prestige cars. You can fit one to your own car too, popular or exotic, and enjoy the unrivaled quality of the world's finest steering wheel. Now to Lancia. Lancia win the Monte Carlo Rally and Team Prize, continuing a fantastic rally record. First on the RAC Rally of 1969, first on the RAC Rally of 1970. Lancia, one of the great Europeans, and proving it again. And here we are, Triple X. We can get you out of a lot of tough scrapes. Of course, back in the day, certainly many cheaper cars didn't have heated rear windows as standard, but you could get a stick-on electrically heated rear window if you wanted one. All you do is flick a switch and mist, snow, ice and frost start to disappear. Now to Dunlop SP Sport radial tyres, and a hint of 007 in this action-packed advertisement here. There's the gents and an XJ6 Series 1 and Mark 1 Escort, and the young lady of course, helicopter and so on. Dunlop SP Sport extraordinary radial tyre, that's a very ordinary price. Now here we have the Alfa Romeo 2000 and a surplus of apostrophes it would seem. The new Alfa Romeo 2000s, they perform like 3-litre cars. And over here, who hasn't used Simonize at some point? Simonize the car care people. Simonize GT Wax Aerosol. Spray it on and it won't spray off. And illustrating the fact is a Ford Cortina Mark II with a BMC registration. Now to the great outdoors, the family runabout based on the Toyota Hiace, the Danbury camper. During the week it's ideal for shopping or collecting the kids from school, and while on holidays and weekends away, you needn't go without your home comforts. Oh, a bit of in-car entertainment now, courtesy of Radiomobile. Radiomobile makes West Side Story sound twice as good with this stereo tape player. Of course, it was the 8-track cartridges back then, none of the smaller, more compact cassettes. This was the big clunky 8 tracks, about the size of a VHS tape. Now, they don't make adverts like this anymore. Luxury upholstery and Bry nylon, awful seat coverings. Yeah, she shut the door and walked around, her most prized possession. The car had been his for one whole week. He got into the driving seat, lit a cigar and leaned back to savour the moment. Now, the escort for the man who can afford a Jaguar. This is from Rally Sport. The fact that the Escort RS 1600 is built at a place called Advanced Vehicle Operations should tell you a lot about it. 4, sometimes 5 are built there every day. That's all Ford can make if they're going to produce the kind of car a Jaguar owner can appreciate. And here we've got an autocross prepared Mini Cooper, I imagine, Mini Cooper or Cooper S, outright 1971 RAC National Autocross Champion, advertising NGKS copper spark plugs. Another motoring accessory very much 1970s here, the secret formula of STP petrol treatment. Now, Cadet, it's another Opel. Economy plus lots of space at the minimum price, said the Observer newspaper. You can get a new Opel Kadett XE from £825. But what do you get for your money? Buys you more than economy, although a Kadett will happily run you up to 40 miles on a gallon of 2-star petrol. Now to the Ace Motor Company. Clearly concessionaires for Saab in central London and also Gilburn. Various prices there for Saab 96, 95 and 99s, and also the Gilburn Invaders and Invader Estate, a lone 1800 GT at the bottom there. Now to British Leyland and special tuning. Maybe you need your head examined. The things that make your car go faster start at the top, the heads, the valves, the carbs, the manifolds. So before you get under your car, talk to special tuning. Lots of tuning goodies there for Minis, Mini 1275 GTs it refers to there. And here, Duckham's Q again, Duckham's Q 2050 motor oil. There's a gent here with his rally prepared Mark 1 Escort. Rally driver and garage owner of 80 Sutherland Avenue in Bristol. Carrying on from the 1970s adverts, we've got a bit of saloon car racing here, Castrol GTX again. There's very little friction between the top Group 2 racers. Put heart in your car with Castrol GTX, the high performer. Oh, there's a young lady, is that Gloria Hunniford? Worn out plugs waste petrol, I tell them. Ever tried changing them yourself? It's easy. Champion spark plugs. A lot of motorists belong to the Veteran Plug Society. Pity. Even budget-conscious drivers should know the facts, and it pays to change your plugs at least once a year. Now, to British Leyland again, and Unipart parts and accessories. Whether it's a breakdown or normal servicing, use a Unipart guaranteed part or accessory. There we go. Right for most major British makes of car, Ford, Roots and Vauxhall, as well as British Leyland. So if you fit Unipart, you're not likely to break down. Now, a bit of handling. Coney shock absorbers perfect the force of gravity on every wheel. Keep all 4 wheels of a car firmly down on the road. There's no wheel lift on a Coney fitted car. Now to Ferodo, brake linings and disc brake pads. Stand number 193 at the Motor Show, and we've got illustrations here of Roger Clark in a 1972 Mark 1 Ford Escort, and there's an Austin Allegro at the top right, a Police Range Rover, and a JPS Lotus, all using Ferodo brake components. Oh, hello. Have a happy day at the Javelin Stand 40 at the Motor Show. We've got the Intercontinental medium and long wave FM stereo radio with 8-track stereo tape player. Alongside that is the slightly cheaper Continental. Don't think I've ever come across a Javelin radio before. Are there any still out there? And here, an advert for Triumph Tune and Saab Tune engine conversions from SAH Accessories Limited of Leighton Buzzard. 5 stages of tune available, specialised equipment and range of over 1,500 accessories. Side-on view now of a Mini, the Mini 1275 GT, a cheap thrill. At £973, the Mini 1275 GT doesn't just look good, it makes you look good. In fact, it would be cheap at half the performance, 0 to 60 in 13.3 seconds and 60 brake horsepower at 5,250 RPM. And here's a very polite invitation for the Clan Motor Company Limited. We invite you to try the car that puts the pleasure into motoring. Hillman based, if I remember right, fabulous body little sports cars. Carrying on with these 1970s classic ads, we've of course got Waxoyl, which will be familiar to anyone with an older car, especially a car of the 1960s or 1970s. Once it's 5 or 6 years old, the rust would start to break out, so you'd reach for your big can of Waxoyl and spray it all over the place. Did the job then, and it still does the job now. Now, a very sensible advert from Toyota. There's a Toyota Crown there. At Toyota, safety comes first. A Toyota car will take you safely to your destination on every road and through every kind of weather. That's why Toyota cars run first through a rigorous testing program before running on the road. Toyota believes that this is the way to build a safer car. Talking of safety now, we've got India GT radial tyres. Great little cartoon strip there of someone being kidnapped and a gent with his young lady in an MGB GT in hot pursuit of the felon's Mercedes-Benz saloon. India GT radials, join the club. Now to Vauxhall, we've got an L-Reg Viva here, an HC Viva. Join Vauxhall in the fight against ugliness and inflation. The Viva 1800 SL is a prime example of the Vauxhall idea. It's the opposite of everything that is ugly, plain, boxy, cramped, or downright uncomfortable in a motor car. And here, a familiar scene to anyone who remembers the 1970s and driveways at the weekend. There's a man underneath is MGB, and an advert for Dunlop trolley jacks and bottle jacks. The jack you're alright with. Bit of a play on words there. Back to Vauxhall again and the racy Magnum, perhaps the only exciting luxury car at the price. The Magnum Saloon from £1,291, the Magnum Coupe from £1,345 and the Magnum Estate from £1,408, all prices subject to VAT. And here is Castrol GTX, and we have a Chevrolet Camaro Z28. We're behind you, heart and soul. The name well established in the car accessory world, certainly here in the UK, is QH, Quinton Hazel Limited. What have we got? Water pumps, hoses, thermostats, fan belts, clips and radiator caps. Simply add water for a brand new super efficient cooling system. A bit of exotic now, a bit of glamour. We've got the Maserati Bora, a cold wind from the north and a hot new car from Maserati, from £9,826, 170 miles an hour Maserati. Comes with a 5-speed gearbox and a 4.7 litre light alloy V8 engine, which this Mazda 1200 certainly does not. But you do get fully reclining front seats, reversing lights, 2-speed windscreen wipers, electric screen washers, lockable filler cap, 3-speed heater with through-flow ventilation, cigarette lighter and the steering lock. There's a lot going for the Mazda 1200. And if anyone remembers car accessories, in particular in the 1980s, the name Harry Moss will need no introduction. That was a name that was applied to all manner of car accessories back in the day. Here we've got a boxy Hillman demonstrating a rear screen demister. The jet set now, the jet set lifestyle of your average Morgan owner, a matter of breeding. The Morgan 442-seater for £1,569, 43 pence, including VAT. Still plenty of these 1970s car adverts to come. Now, the new Alfa Romeo 2000 Saloon. It takes you to 118 miles an hour, at a time when speed was okay to talk about. Now, if you have good judgment, you own one, and that car in question is the Rover P6. This is a latish example, early 1970s, N registered with the later sort of egg crate grille. and BL Rover at its finest. Now to Citroën. Choose your car of the year from Citroën. The Citroën GS Car Magazine Car of the Year 1970, or perhaps the Citroën GS Estate, the Daily Telegraph Magazine Estate Car of the Year 1972, or the Citroën CX Europe's Car of the Year for 1974. The German gem here. Everything about the record is very well engineered and finished, according to Good Motoring magazine. The Opel record. It's another Opel. The international luxury car record with elegant continental styling. Go anywhere and it fits in. Little Mini here from 1966, but the advert is for Shell. 54 miles on the open road on 1 gallon of Shell economy. Terrific, says Mr. Bishop of Enfield. He proved for himself how Shell economy gives good mileage. He drove his Mini Traveller at an average speed of just over 30 miles an hour. Next up, AP Borgenbeck clutches. We hardly have to tell you which part we supply. On the new Escort, an AP Borgenbeck clutch is fitted as original equipment, but we don't stop there. And here, a full colour advertisement here for Girling brake parts, and illustrated is the racy, sporty Morris Marina Coupe. Carrying on with this 1970s fest, the Datsun 140J. If I could find a car as well equipped as Datsun's Bluebird, but a shade smaller and under £1,300, I'd buy it. There you go, the Datsun Violet 140J 4-door saloon, yours for £1,282. Back to speed, and we've got AP Lockheed here, and their broad-speed Capri demonstrating its braking prowess, 100 to 0 in 4.8 seconds. Slice of Blackpool goodness here, British and proud of it. Only a British car could be built with the craftsmanship of the TVR. Built by enthusiasts for enthusiasts the world over, the TVR is one of the very few remaining true sports cars. Test drive a TVR now and see why the TVR is proud to be British. Now Cosmic. There's a name to conjure with for anyone who was into modifying their cars in the 1960s and 1970s. Cosmic alley wheels, steering wheels, bonnet straps, door handles, many things. Column adjusters there, you see, it says sun visors, wheel spacers, steering wheel gloves, and much more. And here is a young executive looking type just exiting his 1500 TC Triumph, locking the door there, revelling in the fact that his new car had twin carburetors, radial ply tyres, new style instruments, reclining seats, and an automatic transmission option. Talking of Triumphs, wheels for the new Triumph Dolomite Sprint. If you've ever wondered who made those very smart alley wheels for the Dolly Sprint, here is your answer. Sterling Metals Limited of Nuneaton in England. Carrying on with these 1970s car ads and car accessory ads, we have the Morris Marina. You just can't beat it. See the original 1913 bullnose and the new 1973 Marina Jubilee on the Morris stand. Buy a Morris Marina from £934 and you could win a solitaire diamond worth £500. Beat that. The legend that is Jerry Marshall. Jerry Marshall has just become the 1975 Super Saloon Champion. Super! This is an advert, DTV, dealer team Vauxhall, and there is Baby Bertha, a much modified saloon car racer of the 1970s. Bit of a 1970s traffic jam there, some real lovely cars in that lot. And if you can't put your foot down, at least you can keep it tapping. And this is Hitachi in-car stereos, radios and 8-track players. I wonder if any of those cars are still on the road now. Talking of cars on the road, it's a small country, and here we have BL's Mini of the early 1970s. We've got the Clubman and the traditionally styled Mini there. The Mini costs from £641 and does 41.7 miles to the gallon of 3-star petrol. Talking of British Leyland, on the new Austin Allegro, a new dimension in suspension, Hydrogas. In keeping with all the other superb features of the new Austin range, the world's most advanced suspension system is even more advanced. Back to road safety. 39 miles on Denevo after a 70 miles an hour blowout without even stopping. This was the Dunlop Denevo Run flat tyres of the 1970s. I think these were standard fitment on the 1275 GT, but then they seem to sort of disappear from view. Next up, an advert for Gulf Motor Oils. Last year, Gulf produced 3 cars and 55 billion gallons of petroleum. Carrying on with these adverts from the early to mid 1970s, we've got the new Blaupunkt. The Tempelhof combines Blaupunkt brilliance with superb stereo. The Tempelhof combines a high-performance car radio with a superb stereo cassette player and all the brilliance of the famous Blaupunkt sound at a recommended retail price of £73.50 plus VAT. And here, more classic camper action thanks to Bedford. We've got the Auto Sleeper, the CI Auto Home, the Dormobile Freeway and the Cooper Inca, all based on the Mark I Bedford CF there. Still a few more to go. Pico, another name from the past of car accessories, tuning, modifying and so on. The Pico Continental Pulse Chamber Silencer, the first name in high performance exhaust systems. And there's the Aintree twin and big bore silencers too. Who remembers putting those on their Mini or Escort back in the day? And here's a great old advert for the Jaguar XJS. September 10, 1975, a black day for Modena, Stuttgart and Turin. The Jaguar XJS, the car everyone dreams of, but very, very few can ever own. Now, who hasn't used a bit of Solvol Autosol at some point in the past? The case of the rusted chrome and how we polished it off. We're Solvol Autosol, the polish that's cleaning up around town, rubbing out rust, taking off tarnish and getting at grime. Yours for 5 shillings. A new tyre for the price of 3 gallons of petrol. That's all you pay when your tyre is fitted. Blue Star spread the total cost, 9 monthly payments. Less than the 3 shillings in the pound down. For the average family car you need only pay around 18 and 6 for each tyre and drive off safely shod. Here's Paddy Hopkirk again, 92,000 miles and still winning races, says Paddy Hopkirk. And they're talking about Wally Pratt and his 9-year-old Fiat that's clocked up 92,000 miles. He came first in the Fiat economy run for the 3rd consecutive year, doing over 73 miles per gallon in his Abarth-tuned Fiat 600 it seems. And Pico big bore exhausts again. Got a Marina Coupe there with a big twin exhaust system, a Mini, a Jaguar E-Type and a Volvo, either 144 or a 164 with a big twin exhaust system. Oh, Lancia now. With many cars, the price tells you everything. The Lancia Beta is different. The Lancia Beta 1300, the Beta Coupe, and the Lancia Beta Spider, rotting away before your very eyes, unfortunately. Oof, and the good old MGB. You've got a chrome bumper car, M registration. There seems to be a gent escaping from Pentonville there, and his young lady waiting in the car for him patiently. 0 to 50 in 8 seconds. Bit more performance goodness now, the Dunlop Formula 70, the graunchy grippers. How to tweak up your car's performance without lifting the bonnet. Hold tight, Formula 70 will. Smooth talking, sweet moving, full power, full time. Formula 70 tyres. Spot of Frenchness now, the Renault 5, the Renault 5. The closer you look, the bigger it gets. At first sight you might take the Renault 5 for an endearing little runabout, but a closer inspection will reveal that you're in fact looking at a big car that happens to be only 11 foot 6 inches long. Well, we've had British Leyland and Unipart, and here's Ford and Motorcraft. At last, a complete range of car cosmetics that keep her as lovely to look at as the day you met. A 32 Ford there and a gent in his shades advertising the Motorcraft brand. Just a couple more to go, and we've got Castrol GTX and some high mileage cars there. We've got a Bentley, an 1100, there's a Rover P4 at the back and a Jensen 541 in the centre there. There's a Morris Minor Traveller with 151,000 miles and a 200,000 mile Volvo 140. And rounding out this little collection, back to Alfa Romeo. It all starts at under £1,700. Today, believe it or not, you can buy an Alfa Romeo for £1,699, the Alfa Sud. A remarkable car which in this day and age gives remarkable value for money. And that Alfa Sud advertisement rounds out this collection of British print ads, motoring related, of the early to mid 1970s. Please take a look around the rest of the channel while you're here before you disappear, and there'll be more videos along very, very soon, so bye for now.